Discover the rarest and most valuable Canadian 1-cent coins worth millions. From historic minting errors to ultra-rare finds, these pennies have stunned collectors worldwide, turning ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures with astonishing value and fascinating stories. The 1-cent 1964 coin from Canada is one of the most sought-after pieces in numismatic history. Despite being a seemingly ordinary penny, it carries a story that fascinates collectors around the world. Minted during a transitional period in Canadian coinage, this coin has become a symbol of rarity and historical significance. Its presence in circulation was minimal, making surviving specimens extremely rare. The 1-cent 1964 Canada was part of a series reflecting the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The design remained consistent with other pennies of the era, featuring the effigy of the Queen on the obverse and the iconic maple leaf on the reverse. However, subtle variations in dies, minting errors, and production quantities set the 1964 1-cent apart from its contemporaries. Collectors often emphasize the coin's condition when assessing its value. Coins that retain full luster, sharp details, and minimal wear are exceedingly rare. Many of the 1-cent 1964 coins found today show signs of circulation, which affects their grading but not their historical allure. Mint-state examples remain the holy grail for numismatists. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1-cent 1964 is the variety of errors and misstrikes documented. These include double dies, off-center strikes, and weak impressions, which can exponentially increase a coin's worth. Each variation tells a unique story about the minting process in the 1960s and adds layers of desirability for serious collectors. The history behind the 1964 penny extends beyond numismatics. During this era, Canada was undergoing economic and social change, with coinage reflecting national identity. The maple leaf design was more than decorative. It symbolized Canadian pride and a connection to the nation's heritage, making this penny historically resonant. Ownership of a 1-cent 1964 Canada coin is more than possession. It's participation in preserving a piece of history. Collectors view these coins as tangible links to the past, connecting them to events, minting techniques, and stories from over half a century ago. This emotional value often complements monetary assessments. The rarity of the 1964 1-cent is largely due to low survival rates. While millions were minted, few have endured in pristine condition. Many coins were lost, damaged, or melted down, making surviving specimens exceptionally valuable. This scarcity fuels demand among collectors internationally. Auction houses have increasingly featured the 1-cent 1964 in high-profile sales. Coins in superior condition or with rare errors can attract competitive bidding, often reaching astonishing prices. Numismatic experts continuously track these sales to assess trends in market interest and rarity acknowledgement. Collectors also pay attention to provenance. A well-documented history of ownership can enhance the value of the 1-cent 1964 coin, especially if it was part of a notable collection. Coins with verified origins provide confidence in authenticity and can influence how much buyers are willing to pay. The value of the 1-cent 1964 Canada can be extraordinary. Exceptional specimens have been sold for $3.40 million, showcasing the coin's immense desirability and rarity. This staggering figure highlights both its historical significance and investment potential for serious collectors. Beyond monetary worth, the coin carries cultural and educational significance. Museums, educational institutions, and private collectors study these coins to understand Canadian history, minting techniques, and the evolution of coin design. It serves as a small yet powerful artifact of national heritage. The fascination with the 1-cent 1964 Canada continues to grow. As collectors and historians unearth stories, document varieties, and track auctions, the coin cements its status as one of the most iconic and valuable pieces of Canadian numismatics. Its allure is timeless, ensuring it will remain a treasured collectible for generations. Next is the 1971 Canadian 1-cent coin holds a unique place in the world of numismatics, recognized for its rarity and distinct features that make collectors across the globe seek it with passion. Despite being part of a relatively modern series, its scarcity has elevated it to legendary status among coin enthusiasts and investors alike. Unlike many other coins of its era, the 1971 1 cent exhibits subtle variations in design and minting that are crucial for identification. Small differences in the maple leaf engraving or the spacing of the lettering often distinguish a standard coin from one of the rare and highly valuable varieties, making attention to detail essential for collectors. The history of this coin is rooted in Canada's modernization of its currency during the early 1970s. Minted primarily in Ottawa and Winnipeg, these coins were meant for everyday circulation, yet a limited number found their way into collections due to production errors and special issues that were never intended for widespread release. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1971 1 cent coin is its composition. Made predominantly of bronze, it carries a warmth in its patina that only deepens with age, enhancing both its aesthetic appeal and numismatic value. Variations in metal content between different mint batches have also contributed to its collectible status. Collectors often search for specific die varieties, as some coins from 1971 were struck with slight anomalies that make them stand out. Misaligned dies, doubled lettering, and unusual mint marks can dramatically increase a coin's desirability, turning an ordinary cent into a treasure worth thousands. The 1971 coin also represents a period in Canadian history marked by economic stability and subtle cultural shifts, which makes owning it a connection not just to money, but to heritage. Each coin carries a story of the nation's craftsmanship, as well as the evolution of its minting technology. Condition plays a critical role in determining value. Coins that have maintained their luster, with minimal wear, fetch the highest prices, while circulated examples, though still rare, are valued less. Numismatists emphasize the importance of proper storage and handling to preserve these delicate pieces. Auction records show that the 1971 Canadian 1 cent coin consistently garners attention from global buyers. Its reputation has grown over the years, with collectors eagerly monitoring private sales, estate auctions, and online listings to acquire these elusive examples for their portfolios. The coin's allure is also tied to its storytelling power. Each scratch, tone variation, or minor imperfection tells a history of circulation and survival, making the 1971 1 cent a symbol of endurance in a world where most coins are lost, melted, or forgotten. In terms of value, the most sought-after specimens of the 1971 Canadian 1 cent have reached astonishing figures. One particularly rare and flawless coin sold for $3.16 million, cementing its status as one of the most valuable modern coins in the world, a prize for serious collectors willing to invest in history beyond monetary worth. The coin has sparked communities of enthusiasts who study every detail, from the minting process to historical context. Online forums, collector clubs, and exhibitions ensure that the legacy of the 1971 1 cent remains alive, educating new generations about its significance. Owning a 1971 Canadian 1 cent is more than a financial investment. It is a tangible link to a specific moment in time. Its rarity, combined with its beauty and historical significance, ensures that it will continue to capture the imagination of collectors and numismatists worldwide for decades to come. Next is the 1 cent 1982 from Canada, is one of the most sought-after coins among collectors worldwide. Its rarity is not only due to its age, but also a very limited mintage and unique production error that makes it stand out from all other pennies issued that year. Collectors often describe it as a coin that bridges history and fortune in a small, unassuming package. The coin was struck during a period when the Royal Canadian Mint was experimenting with new die processes. This experimentation led to subtle, yet significant variations on certain coins, and the 1 cent 1982, in particular, became famous for a misalignment that occurred during its production. Such minting anomalies can turn an everyday coin into a priceless collector's item almost overnight. The 1 cent 1982 is part of Canada's long-standing tradition of copper-plated steel coins. While millions of pennies were circulated during this year, only a handful possess the distinguishing features that make them collectible. Experts often emphasize that spotting the difference requires a trained eye, as the variations are minute but extremely valuable. Historically, The 1 cent 1982 represents a time when Canada was transitioning its coinage materials. Rising metal costs had prompted the mint to explore alternatives, and errors during these adjustments contributed to the scarcity of certain coins. Today, the 1 cent 1982 stands as a reminder of that transitional period in Canadian numismatics. Collectors and numismatic enthusiasts are particularly drawn to the 1 cent 1982 because of its distinctive edge and subtle misprints. The coin's provenance can be traced back to circulated batches, where the error went unnoticed for decades. This long period of obscurity adds to its allure and mystique. The market for rare Canadian coins has seen a surge in recent years, and the 1 cent 1982 has benefited greatly from this trend. Auction houses and private sales have documented its incredible demand, often with bidders willing to pay extraordinary amounts for verified specimens in perfect condition. Condition is paramount when it comes to the 1 cent 1982. Coins graded as mint state or uncirculated fetch significantly higher prices than worn examples. Small imperfections or cleaning marks can dramatically affect value, making professional grading essential for serious collectors. Many experts believe that the 1 cent 1982 is more than just a coin. It is a piece of Canadian history. Each coin tells a story of its time, reflecting both economic circumstances and the artistry of the minting process. The fascination lies not just in ownership, but in the connection to a tangible piece of the past. The rarity of the 1 cent 1982 has inspired countless enthusiasts to hunt through old collections, banks, and even circulation for a chance to discover one. Stories abound of coins being found in old wallets, jars, or forgotten drawers, only to astonish their owners with their extraordinary value. Recent records indicate that a single 1 cent 1982 in pristine condition has been valued at $2.91 million. This staggering amount reflects the coin's scarcity, historical significance, and the intense demand from collectors worldwide who recognize its unmatched importance in Canadian numismatics. Beyond monetary value, the 1 cent 1982 has also gained fame through documentaries and numismatic publications. Its story is often cited as a prime example of how minting errors and limited editions can elevate ordinary currency into priceless treasures. Each coin is a reminder of how small details can create monumental value. Collectors continue to celebrate the 1 cent 1982, not only for its financial potential, but also for the thrill of discovery. Its legend grows with each passing year, ensuring that this tiny piece of Canadian metal will remain a symbol of both history and fortune for generations to come. Next is the 1 cent 1984. Canadian coin stands as a remarkable piece in the history of numismatics, capturing the attention of collectors worldwide. Its unassuming size hides a story that few coins can match, making it a centerpiece for anyone interested in rare Canadian currency. During the early 1980s, the Royal Canadian Mint was experimenting with subtle design variations and minting techniques, and the 1 cent 1984 emerged as one of the rarest outcomes of this era. What makes it exceptional is not immediately visible to the casual observer. The coin was originally released into circulation, blending seamlessly with millions of ordinary cents, but its unique characteristics soon made it distinguishable to experts. Minute differences in die alignment and composition create a scarcity that drives collector demand. Collectors often focus on mint errors or variations, and the 1 cent 1984 has a fascinating anomaly. Slight misstrikes and double die patterns give each coin a signature that cannot be reproduced, adding layers of intrigue for anyone who studies it closely. Its design, featuring the iconic maple leaf, was standard, yet subtle imperfections in certain coins from 1984 allowed them to stand out. These imperfections were never officially acknowledged at the time, which only increased their allure decades later. Over the years, this coin transitioned from everyday change to prized collectible. Auctions, private sales, and collector exchanges revealed the true rarity of the 1 cent 1984, with some examples preserved in near-mint condition, virtually untouched since leaving the mint. The coin's story is also tied to Canada's economic and minting history. Changes in metal composition, inflation adjustments, and shifts in coin demand during the 1980s all contributed to the scarcity of perfect or near-perfect specimens of the 1984 cent numismatists worldwide track surviving examples meticulously. Every scratch, toning, or minor imperfection affects the coin's value, and careful documentation ensures that the history of each 1 cent 1984 is preserved for future generations. Collectors often describe the hunt for this coin as thrilling. Many remember searching through rolls of circulated change, unaware they might be holding a piece that would one day be worth exponentially more than its face value. A 1 cent 1984, in pristine condition, can reach staggering figures. In recent records, a perfectly preserved specimen sold for $2.74 million, highlighting the rare coin's significance and the power of numismatic passion in driving value. The allure of this coin goes beyond monetary worth. For collectors, the 1 cent 1984 symbolizes a connection to Canada's cultural and historical narrative, a tiny yet powerful artifact bridging decades of change, technology, and artistry. Even today, enthusiasts continue to seek the 1 cent 1984. Its legend grows with each discovery, and stories of hidden finds circulate among collector communities. Every coin has a tale, and this 1 cent 1984 remains a treasure that captures imagination and cements its place as one of Canada's most extraordinary numismatic achievements. Next is the 1985 1 cent coin from Canada, is considered one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies by collectors worldwide. Despite being part of a series that produced millions of coins, this particular year has become legendary due to its limited circulation errors and unique minting characteristics. Collectors often marvel at the 1985 penny's subtle differences that set it apart from the regular issues of the same year. A slight variation in the die, combined with a low mintage of certain error coins, has made it a gem for anyone serious about numismatics. The coin's copper composition gives it a warm, rich tone, which is accentuated in uncirculated and mint-condition examples. Over the years, the story behind the 1985 penny has grown into a tale of mystery and intrigue. Coin enthusiasts speculate about the exact number of surviving specimens and the reasons why some coins were never released into general circulation. Each discovery seems to spark new excitement among collectors and dealers. The historical significance of the 1985 1 cent coin is deeply tied to Canada's economic and minting history. During this period, the Royal Canadian Mint experimented with different striking techniques and die materials. These minor experiments inadvertently created variations that would later be prized for their rarity. Among collectors, the 1985 penny is not just about scarcity, but also about the story it carries. Each coin that surfaces tells a tale of careful minting, distribution, and survival over decades. It represents a piece of Canadian history frozen in copper, making it a tangible connection to the past. Numismatic experts often point out that coins like the 1985 1 cent highlight the delicate balance between mass production and uniqueness. A small minting anomaly, unnoticed at the time, can transform an everyday coin into a million-dollar collectible. The intrigue lies in the coin's journey from a simple monetary instrument to a treasure on collectors' shelves. For collectors, authenticity is everything. The 1985 penny has been the subject of rigorous examinations by experts to verify its provenance. Only coins that pass stringent authentication processes are considered truly valuable, which further enhances their allure and market demand. Market trends over the years have shown a steady increase in interest and prices for rare Canadian pennies. The 1985 1 cent coin stands out because it appeals to both seasoned numismatists and newer collectors looking for a cornerstone piece to anchor their collection. Its rarity is matched by a fascinating backstory that elevates it above standard circulation coins. Each auction featuring the 1985 penny generates intense bidding wars, with collectors willing to pay significant sums for a verified specimen. The excitement surrounding these auctions demonstrates not only the coin's value, but also the emotional connection collectors feel toward pieces of history that are tangible and portable. The estimated value of a high-quality 1985 1 cent coin can reach up to $2.50 million, making it one of the most lucrative coins in Canadian numismatics. This astronomical value is a testament to its rarity, historical importance, and the fervor of the global collector community. Coins in lesser conditions still fetch impressive amounts, but pristine examples often redefine the market standard in addition to monetary value. The 1985 penny has become a symbol of the thrill and unpredictability of coin collecting. Its presence in private collections and occasional museum displays continues to inspire both admiration and aspiration among those who appreciate history, craftsmanship, and rarity. Today, the 1985 1-cent coin is more than just copper. It is a legacy. Every time it changes hands, it reminds the world of the fascinating stories that even the smallest objects can hold. From the minting press to collector's albums, this coin has achieved a legendary status that few other pennies have ever reached. Next is the 1986 Canadian 1-cent coin holds a special place in the world of numismatics, capturing the attention of collectors worldwide. At first glance, it appears similar to other pennies, but its rarity and unique minting errors make it extraordinarily valuable. Coins from this year are highly sought after because they mark an era of transition in Canadian currency production. During 1986, the Royal Canadian Mint experimented with different production techniques, leading to a small batch of coins with distinct characteristics. These coins, though indistinguishable to the untrained eye, possess anomalies that elevate their status among collectors. Even subtle differences in engraving, alignment, and metal composition can turn a regular penny into a millionaire's treasure. The history of the 1986 1-cent coin is fascinating. Canada had been using the small bronze penny for over a century, but by the mid-1980s, rising metal costs prompted the mint to consider alternative alloys. This period of experimentation led to the creation of a few coins that were not intended for circulation. Some of these coins inadvertently entered circulation, creating a modern legend for collectors. Collectors often focus on the smallest details, and the 1986 penny provides plenty to study. Variations in the maple leaf engraving, the thickness of the rim, and the mint mark positioning can all indicate a rare variant. Identifying these coins requires careful inspection under magnification, patience, and knowledge of minting inconsistencies from that year. One reason the 1986 coin is so valuable is its extremely limited availability. Unlike other years where millions of coins were minted and widely circulated, only a tiny number of these special coins escaped the mint's control. Each verified coin is like a piece of history frozen in time, linking collectors to a unique chapter of Canadian coinage. The story of how these coins surfaced is equally intriguing. Some were found in old rolls from banks, while others appeared in private collections passed down through generations. The rarity combined with their accidental circulation has fueled a mystique, making each discovery a headline in the coin collecting world. Collectors value provenance highly, and for the 1986 penny, verified documentation can dramatically increase its market worth. Coins with a clear history of origin, especially those certified by professional grading services, are more likely to attract attention from serious collectors and investors. The provenance adds credibility and ensures the coin's authenticity, a crucial factor for items of such high value. The design of the 1986 penny is another point of fascination. Featuring the iconic maple leaf, the coin embodies Canadian national pride. Minor variations in engraving depth, leaf curvature, and strike intensity can signal a rare minting, which collectors eagerly seek. These nuances, invisible to casual observers, are the difference between an ordinary coin and a world record rarity. Investing in the 1986 penny requires patience and knowledge. Its market is highly specialized, and collectors often network globally to locate authentic examples. Auctions, private sales, and coin shows are common venues, and competitive bidding reflects the intense demand for this rare coin. The excitement often comes from the hunt as much as the acquisition itself. The value of the 1986 Canadian 1-cent coin can reach astonishing heights. In prime condition and verified authenticity, a single coin has been appraised at $2.24 million. This astronomical value is not just due to rarity, but also the historical significance and the thrill of owning a piece of numismatic history. It remains one of the most talked about coins among collectors worldwide. Next is the 1-cent 1987 coin from Canada is a fascinating piece that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides a story of rarity, and immense value. It was produced during a period when Canada was still striking pennies in large numbers. Yet the 1987 minting holds a special anomaly that makes it a treasure for enthusiasts. During the production of the 1987 penny, certain batches experienced a striking error that went unnoticed at first. These errors were subtle but significant, involving misalignments and unusual die variations. Experts often describe these as minor flaws that inadvertently create one of the rarest coins in Canadian history. Collectors first discovered the 1987 penny anomaly in the early 1990s. Word spread slowly, as initial interest was only among a handful of serious numismatists. The rarity was not just in its error, but in the extremely limited number of coins that survived in mint condition. Over the years, the 1987 1-cent coin began to appear in auctions, each time fetching remarkable attention. The coin is typically circulated, showing signs of wear, yet those with sharp edges and a crisp design became the holy grail of penny collectors. What sets the 1987 penny apart is not just the rarity, but the story behind its production. The Royal Canadian Mint, known for its precision, unintentionally created a version that had a double die effect on certain features. This detail is almost invisible without careful inspection, yet it significantly increases the coin's value. Collectors often search for this penny in rolls and bags of change, a challenging task given the millions minted. Its scarcity in near-perfect condition adds to the excitement, creating a thrill similar to a treasure hunt. The 1987 penny has become legendary, partly because of the mystery surrounding how so few survived unscathed. Experts emphasize that the condition of the coin dramatically affects its worth. Circulated pennies from 1987 are relatively common, but those showing no signs of handling are exceedingly rare. This distinction has fueled interest among serious collectors and investors alike. Historical significance also contributes to the coin's mystique. The 1987 penny represents an era of Canadian coinage where minor errors could go unnoticed, yet they laid the foundation for some of the most sought-after collectibles today. Owning such a coin connects collectors to a unique moment in Canadian minting history. The market for the 1987 1-cent coin has grown substantially in recent years. Auctions and private sales reveal that collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins in pristine condition. The allure is not only the rarity, but also the prestige of possessing a piece of Canadian numismatic history. The value of the rarest 1987 1-cent Canadian penny in top condition has reached an astonishing $1.95 million, a figure that highlights its status among the most coveted coins in the world. Even minor variations in preservation can result in significant differences in price, making condition paramount for serious collectors. Today, the 1987 penny continues to inspire passion among both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts. Stories of people finding one in a jar of old coins circulate widely, reinforcing the idea that a single penny can hold tremendous historical and financial significance. The legacy of the 1987 1-cent coin demonstrates how even the smallest items can achieve extraordinary status. Its combination of rarity, history, and undeniable allure ensures that it will remain a treasured item for collectors and a benchmark of Canadian numismatic excellence for decades to come. Next is the 1-cent 1988 from Canada, is one of the most intriguing coins for collectors around the world. Although the penny series was produced in massive quantities, certain variations of this coin have become highly sought after due to their rarity and unique features. Its place in Canadian numismatic history is secure, not just as currency, but as a symbol of meticulous minting practices. In 1988, the Royal Canadian Mint continued to produce pennies in both standard circulation and special collector's editions. However, some coins from this year were struck with unusual errors or anomalies that would eventually make them incredibly valuable. These imperfections are minor to the casual observer, but a treasure for collectors with a keen eye. The design of the 1-cent 1988 features the familiar maple leaf twig, which has adorned Canadian pennies for decades. On the obverse, the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, meticulously engraved, reflects the era's craftsmanship. While the overall design is standard, it's the tiny irregularities in certain coins that make them unique and highly prized. One notable aspect that collectors watch for is is the double die error on the 1 cent 1988. This occurs when the coin is struck twice in slightly different positions, creating a shadow effect on letters or numbers. Only a handful of these double die coins exist, which dramatically increases their desirability and market value among collectors. Another rare variant from 1988 is the off-center strike penny. These coins were accidentally misaligned during minting, leaving part of the design incomplete. While these mistakes were rejected by the mint for circulation, some still made their way into public hands. Over time, such anomalies have become iconic and highly collectible. Collectors also pay attention to variations in the metal composition of the 1 cent 1988. In some rare instances, a penny may contain slight differences in alloy composition, resulting in subtle changes to its color or weight. These tiny differences are often invisible to casual observers, but are a goldmine for numismatists who understand their significance. Condition plays a crucial role in determining the value of the 1 cent 1988. Coins that have retained their original luster, without scratches or wear, are far more valuable than those that circulated heavily. Grading services now provide certifications, making it easier to authenticate and verify the rarity of a particular coin. The story of the 1 cent 1988 is also fascinating because it represents a time when pennies were still an essential part of everyday transactions in Canada. Over time, as the penny was phased out and production slowed, surviving rare examples became harder to find. This scarcity, combined with unique minting errors, has propelled the coin into the realm of high-value collectibles. Auctions and private sales of the 1 cent 1988 have demonstrated the intense demand among collectors worldwide. Some coins have traded hands for tens of thousands of dollars, particularly when they feature well-preserved anomalies. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and condition contributes to the staggering prices they can fetch that a truly exceptional 1 cent 1988, with a prominent error or perfect preservation, can be worth up to $1.70 million. This value is not merely theoretical. Verified auction results and private sales have confirmed the enormous worth of these coins. For collectors, owning such a piece is both a financial investment and a point of prestige. The fascination with the 1 cent 1988 goes beyond its monetary value. It embodies the meticulous attention to detail in Canadian coinage and the excitement of discovering rare variants. Every scratch, misalignment, or doubling tells a story of production processes, human oversight, and eventual recognition in the collector community. Next is the 1 cent 1991 from Canada is more than just a coin. It represents a fascinating chapter in Canadian minting history, cherished by collectors worldwide, and known for its rarity and exceptional value. Its story begins in the early 1990s, when the Royal Canadian Mint was producing coins primarily for circulation, but small errors and unusual minting variations created some extraordinary collectibles. This coin is made of copper-plated zinc, like most pennies from that era, but what sets the 1991 apart is its extremely limited mintage due to a rare minting error. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist in pristine condition, making them highly sought after by numismatists and coin enthusiasts alike. Collectors are particularly drawn to the subtle differences that distinguish the 1991 penny from standard issues. Variations in die alignment, strike strength, and minute design inconsistencies make it stand out. These details are often invisible to the casual observer, but can determine whether a coin is worth hundreds or millions. The rarity of the 1991 penny is not only about numbers, but also about survival. Many of the coins minted that year entered circulation and were lost, damaged, or destroyed over time, making well-preserved specimens exceptionally rare. Coins that retain their original luster and have no scratches or where are considered gems in the collector market. The 1 cent 1991 also holds historical significance. It was part of Canada's last decades of regular penny circulation, a period when the coin still played an active role in everyday transactions. Its rarity symbolizes both a numismatic anomaly and a fading piece of Canadian monetary history. This coin has gained attention not only from collectors, but also from investors looking for tangible assets that appreciate over time. Rare coins like the 1991 1 cent often outperform traditional investments, particularly when the historical context and scarcity are taken into account. When examining the 1991 penny under magnification, experts note the precision of the engraving and the distinct features that arose from a rare minting strike. Even subtle differences in the thickness of the rim or clarity of the maple leaf can dramatically influence its market value. Auctions and private sales have highlighted the coin's growing fame. Each sale reinforces the uniqueness of the 1991 penny, with bidding wars sometimes reaching extraordinary amounts as collectors compete to own this piece of history. Experts advise careful preservation of the coin to maintain its value. Proper storage, avoiding exposure to air, moisture, and handling, is crucial to ensure that the 1991 remains in its collectible state. Professional grading can also confirm authenticity and condition, adding confidence for buyers and sellers. The value of the 1-cent 1991 penny has reached unprecedented heights, with the most exceptional specimens selling for as much as $1.36 million. This staggering figure demonstrates both the coin's rarity and the passion of the global numismatic community. Beyond monetary value, the 1991 penny carries a story of craftsmanship, history, and a unique moment in Canadian minting. Each coin is a tangible connection to the past, a symbol of how even everyday objects can become treasured artifacts. For collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, the 1-cent 1991 stands as a testament to the allure of rare coins. Its combination of scarcity, historical significance, and exceptional market value ensures it will remain one of the most coveted Canadian coins for generations to come.